There's been a lot of talk about Mike Green, but like you mentioned with the allegations, I can't see Ravens going that route right
Guess
now.
Guess what? Here it is.
Whoa,
Here it is, Ing.
They did it.
I think the chat is going to really thoroughly enjoy this one with the 59th overall selection in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Ravens are assessing what I think a lot of people feel like is their biggest need, and that is the edge rusher, the pass rusher out of Marshall, Mike Green. He led the nation with 17.5 sacks last season, and now he is coming to Baltimore.
That's crazy.
Goodness gracious.
I'm surprised. Wow.
So at this point, okay, so let's dissect this, because there are sexual assault allegations that are out there. But as Jamie and Q know, who have been inside those walls and understand how the operation goes, the Ravens haven't not done their homework if they were to go and make this pick. They have clearly done their homework. They clearly feel comfortable with this. Mm-hmm. Jamie, what's your first reaction?
My first reaction is great, because he was at UVA, then something happened, then he went to Marshall, but he's a Virginia guy. So I'm happy. We got a Virginia guy in Baltimore. I'm happy about that, period. Now, the second part is I've seen these defensive ends in the first round get drafted, some quote-unquote edge outside linebackers get drafted. They literally had 5 sacks their whole career. I'm from the time when Peter Boulware had 15 or plus in 1 year. So this kid gets 17, we know he can rush a passer. Some of these other guys will have projections where they think they can rush the passer in the future because they're 6'4.5" and whatever pounds. But this kid can get after the quarterback, so he's instant access, knocking quarterbacks down all day.
Q, your instant reaction is what?
I love it. I think, from a Ravens character aspect of things, trust me, not everybody is crystal clean and pure and holy, whole and wholesome. So let's just go ahead and put that away. And the Virginia boy is coming to Baltimore. I think what is so unique about him is that he has that ability, what they call bendable, and obviously, Jamie, you and I have seen it. You've seen it more than I have, but that ability to get around the corner and just turn that shoulder so low to the ground, Von Miller style, like you're a speed skater just going around the corner and just like getting to the quarterback. That is something that the Ravens really need, a closer. I don't think we have seen the Ravens with a closer. And if you get a guy that can close out a game and just make that impact, or right before halftime, make that impact play to get the team off the field, that's going to be powerful. So I think that if he can be that, clearly Chuck Smith has brought that knowledge base. I think that he is smiling right now, and I have no problem with this pick.
Ing, I want to get your thoughts in here in just a second. Again, Mike Green, 59th overall, is coming to the Baltimore Ravens. He's the edge rusher out of Marshall, 17.5 sacks last season alone. That led the FBS. That led the nation. Okay. He had 22.5 tackles for loss, by the way, last year as well. Okay. Now, the elephant in the room, as we've discussed, not to harp on it, but there are sexual assault allegations out there. No charges have been filed. Okay, that's the reality of it right now. And as we've discussed, and I'm so thankful that we have both of your perspectives as former Ravens that are in the building right now. You guys know better than anybody that the Ravens, if they weren't comfortable with the homework and the results of said homework, this would not have come to fruition tonight. Ing, your instant reaction is what?
Oh, man, production, man. Production. The 17 sacks in the season, that's amazing. And then, like you talked about, the 22.5 tackles for loss as well. And that's something, this is something that I wanted them to do this season, this offseason, this draft, is to make sure for whatever they did at edge, because we knew they were going to address edge, but for it not to be somebody who's a project. And obviously a rookie, they got plenty of stuff that they still need to work on. They're not in their final form yet, but I wanted them to make sure that they got somebody who's ready to contribute right here, right now, somebody who's been productive in college, and that's exactly what they got. Like you mentioned, the homework must be done, because again, with everything that they got going on, especially with Justin Tucker, then they must have done like homework. They must have done overtime research and everything that's going on with the allegations with Mike Green. So they must be okay. Well, they're obviously okay with it because they drafted him in the second round.
Well,
so
the people
yeah,
from the Baltimore Banner, I'm sure, are going to go ahead and do some more due diligence.
Oh, you already know that, Q. Hey, Coach, let's get your thoughts
So
on the
Q, where did the Baltimore Banner come from? When did we get tabloid media in Baltimore like that? When did we get that? When did that happen? What year?
I don't know. I think that's the new math. Try to be a little bit more spicy, like the New York market or the Philadelphia market, or you got to grow. So the Banner kind of like, yeah, we're gonna get spicy.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
I want to get your thoughts on the measurables, on what sticks out to you, and I'm just going to read some of these details to you. 6'3", 251 is Mike Green, 32-inch arm, 8.5-inch hand size. Look at the athleticism score. It ranked first, 88 overall. That ranked first among his class at the position. That included all defensive ends. That included all edge rushers. Not a lot in terms of the combine results. He was very careful with what he did. He did go 28 reps, and I believe that's a 225 default, right? At the combine, 225 is what they do.
Yeah.
I think that's the case. Anyway, so he was a projected round 1 guy by Lance Zierlein of NFL.com. Here's some of the overview on him. The strengths: he possesses explosive power, strong core, full tilt motor, plays the ball with a high level of violence and physicality. I'm not going to read all the bullet points, but as you take a look at the intangibles, some of the traits, what comes to mind just in terms of how that translates to the NFL level?
Well, when Q says something about being able to bend, that's the tilt, come around the corner, being able to make your body move and lean into your pass rush. So that's a big thing that some guys have and some guys don't. I remember back when I first came to the league and people talked about Derek Thomas, how he could bend the corner and just keep rushing the passer because his ankles were so strong that he could bend around the corner and just keep rushing and don't have to worry about slipping up. So it's different intangibles that you see with this guy that he has, that when he says bend and being able to come around that corner. I'm looking at his size. 250 is great. That's a good size coming in. I mean, he maybe get up to 255, 260, or he can drop down to be faster. 6'3", that's a great size for an outside linebacker, defensive end. When you start getting under 6'3" to 6'2", 6'1.5", then you get engulfed sometimes by the offensive tackles who are 6'5.5", 6'6". The only thing I see here with one thing, I think his hand size said 8.5. That's a little smaller than I thought it would be. But everything else seems like it's up to par with the actual defensive end / pass rusher. He's going to be a guy, I think, that if he's one-on-one with the offensive tackle, he can make some things happen. Now, the Ravens scheme sometimes doesn't have that guy rushing from the outside edge just with speed the whole time. But I think our D coordinator can make some changes and make it happen in the future.
My guy Ing's about to bounce, but he wanted to say goodbye to you guys. He's visiting from South Florida. He came up for a draft party last night, and he's about to head back to the hotel.
Hey, good talking to you, Q. Nice meeting you, Jamie. Appreciate the both of y'all.
Yes,
and
sir.
My guy Bobby.
Right,
Shout out to all y'all Voltrons, man.
Dude, that was fun, man.
Appreciate
Two hours in.
Yeah, man.
When you go downstairs, we're literally in my place in Canton right now. When you make your way downstairs, just lock the bottom lock on the way out.
Lock it. If I make sure you lock it. If you don't lock it, you're in trouble.
I was gonna say,
you want anybody running up in the studio?
Yeah, this is literally this is at home stuff, baby. We're in the command center here in Canton. Come on now.
Like Tilly is like, listen, my guard duty days are over.
Tilly's looking at him right now, like, where are you going? All right, brother. Great seeing you, dude. Yep. Safe travels back tomorrow. All right. So we're going to bring in Matt McCrane here in a second. Q, anything else that we want to wrap up the Mike Green discussion with? I do have a clip of him absolutely dominating in a one-rep fashion at the Senior Bowl. So I'll get that in just a second. But is there anything else on your mind before we let you go?
Yeah, I just think what they're looking at is finisher, a guy that can get after the quarterback in key moments, that has that sense of how to dominate a phase of the game. it's different phases of the game that you have to present. And this into the second quarter and into the fourth quarter is where you make your money. Obviously, as a receiver, anytime it's third down, everybody in the building know you're going to pass it. So you want to be that go-to guy and make that critical catch to get the first down or the touchdown. Well, for a rush in guy, you need to be able to finish. You need to get the trifecta, the strip sack, force fumble, and recover it. And I think that's something that you can teach it, but if you already have that innate dog in you, like Mike Green is exhibiting, I think that's going to go a long way. And you got Chuck Smith, I think will be great for him.
Take a look at, Jamie, what Chuck Smith is reacting to in real time right now. Again, this is a very cryptic tweet, but I think we all know what he's referring to. Just a bunch of fire emojis, a bunch of emotion here. Hashtag RavensVault. Mike Green finally on the television copy is going to Baltimore. The pick is in. We're a little bit ahead of things in the Twitter sphere. But Mike Green, if you're just tuning in, he is coming to Baltimore. He led the FBS last season with over 17 sacks. And he slips to Baltimore at 59, who maybe just found their guy who could be a game wrecker for the first time since T-Sizz. I mean, are we going back that far, guys, in terms of when they've had that kind of player? I'm not projecting them to be that right away, obviously overnight, but could they potentially have that at their disposal? We'll have to wait and see.
They got the statistics to show it.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Yeah, the potential is there, but T-Sizz was just a different cat.
Yeah. Q, you're the man.
Yeah, I think it's all good.
Kadir. We appreciate you, Q. We'll do it again, I'm sure, in the coming days to evaluate how things go all 3 days. But congratulations to Kadir. We're all fired up for you and the family. And we'll catch up soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Jamie, as always, brother, love you.
All right, Q. Holla at you, boss. Interested,
nothing like the brother.
The AFC North drafted. Yeah, the AFC North, they drafted all defensive players except for one running back to Cleveland. Is that what I saw online? It's all defensive players. The AFC North almost.
Yeah.
Besides a running back to Cleveland. That's what I saw.
Cincy better just use every single pick that's at their disposal to go defense after what we watched last year, you know. But
yeah, Al Golden, man.
What's that?
Yeah, I was saying Al Golden, coming back in from Notre Dame, he's a former linebacker coach for me at UVA, so I know him. And then I look at some of the other defensive coordinators in the AFC North, and they know the AFC North is all about defense, and that's how they drafted.